There's a quiet truth most people never hear, because life is too loud to notice it. Right now, as you're listening to this, you might feel like you're behind, like everyone else has figured something out that you haven't, like you should be further ahead, more successful, more certain, more complete. But what if that feeling isn't truth? What if it's just noise? Take a slow breath in and let it go. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a simple but powerful understanding. Suffering often comes not from where you are, but from how you compare it. The mind has a habit. It looks outward, measures, judges, and tells stories. Stories like, I'm not enough yet, or I should be somewhere else by now. But the Buddha taught something radically gentle. That peace doesn't come from becoming more, comes from seeing clearly. And right now, you are closer than you think. Imagine a person walking through a dense forest. They feel lost. Every direction looks the same. They start to panic, thinking they've gone the wrong way. But what they don't realize is, they are already on the path. The path doesn't look like a straight road. It twists, it bends, it disappears and reappears. Life is like that forest. You're not behind. You're just in a part of the path that feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar doesn't mean wrong. In Buddhism, there's a concept called right effort. Not forcing, not rushing, not exhausting yourself trying to arrive, but gently continuing. Effort that is balanced. Effort that is kind. Think about how often you push yourself harshly. How often your inner voice sounds more like criticism than compassion. Now imagine something different. Imagine walking at a pace that allows you to breathe, to notice, to exist, without constantly trying to fix yourself. Because here's something deeply important. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a process unfolding. There's a story from Buddhist teachings about a student who approached a master and said, "Master, I've been practicing for so long, but I don't feel enlightened. I don't feel transformed. I feel like I'm failing." The master smiled gently and asked, "Before you began your journey, when you were upset, how long did it last?" The student thought and replied, "Sometimes days, even weeks." "And now?" the master asked. The student paused. "Now it lasts a few hours, sometimes just moments." The master nodded. "And you say nothing has changed?" Growth is quiet. It doesn't always feel dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. Sometimes growth is simply this. You recover a little faster. You react a little softer. You understand a little deeper. And because it's subtle, you overlook it. But it's there. You are changing. You are learning. You are doing better than you think. The Buddha often spoke about dukkha, a word often translated as suffering. But it's more than pain. It's that subtle dissatisfaction, that feeling that something isn't quite right. And one of the roots of dukkha is resistance. Resisting where you are. Resisting what you feel. Resisting the pace of your life. You tell yourself, "I shouldn't feel this way. I should be stronger. I should be further ahead." But every should adds weight. What if you released that? What if, just for a moment, you allowed yourself to be exactly where you are, without judgment? Close your eyes for a second. Feel your breath. Not changing it, just noticing it. This breath is enough. This moment is enough. And so are you. There's something deeply healing about slowing down. Not because slowing down makes you more productive, but because it reconnects you to what is real. When you rush, you live in your thoughts. When you slow down, you return to your life. The warmth of your hands. The rhythm of your breathing. The quiet presence of now. This is where peace lives. Not in the future version of you, but right here. In modern life, especially for a US audience driven by achievement and constant motion, there's this invisible pressure to always be improving, to optimize everything, to never waste time, to always be moving forward. But Buddhism offers a different perspective. Not every moment needs to be productive to be meaningful. Sometimes sitting quietly, doing nothing, is not a waste. It is healing. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to rush your journey, because the truth is, life is not a race. It's an experience. And experiences aren't meant to be rushed through. They're meant to be lived. So if today feels slow, progress feels invisible, if you feel like you're not where you should be, remember this. A tree doesn't grow faster because you pull on it. It grows because it's given time, space, and patience. And you are no different. Right now, you are growing in ways you cannot yet see. You are becoming more aware, more resilient, more understanding. Even in your confusion, there is progress. Even in your stillness, there is movement. So slow down, not because you're giving up, but because you're finally allowing yourself to arrive. Right here, right now, and in this moment, you are doing better than you think. Take another slow breath. Not to fix anything, not to become anything, just to be here. Because this moment, simple, quiet, often overlooked, is where your life is actually happening. In Buddhist teaching, there is a concept called mindfulness, but not in the way it's often rushed or commercialized today. True mindfulness is not about forcing your mind to be empty. It's about gently noticing without judgment, noticing your thoughts, your emotions, your patterns. Like watching clouds pass across the sky. You don't chase them. You don't fight them. You simply observe. And in that observation, something changes. Think about how often you get caught inside your thoughts. A single worry becomes 10. A small mistake becomes a story about who you are. A moment of doubt becomes a belief. I'm not good enough. But here's what the Buddha pointed to. A thought is not truth. It is just a thought. It appears. It lingers, and if you don't hold on to it, passes, just like everything else. There's a powerful metaphor often used in Buddhist psychology. Imagine holding a glass of water. First it feels light, but the longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. The weight didn't change, but your experience of it did. Your thoughts are the same. It's not always the thought itself that hurts you. It's how long you hold on to it. So what happens if you gently put it down? Not by force, not by pretending it's not there, but by allowing it to exist, without attaching your identity to it. Instead of saying, I'm failing, you notice, I'm having the thought that I'm failing. That small shift creates space. And in that space, there is freedom. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from attachment. Attachment to outcomes. Attachment to expectations. Attachment to how we think life should be. You expect yourself to feel strong all the time, to be confident, to always move forward. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, you suffer. But what if the expectation itself is the burden? Imagine loosening your grip, not giving up, but softening, allowing life to be a little messy, allowing yourself to be human. Because being human means sometimes you feel lost. Sometimes you feel tired. Sometimes you don't have the answers. And that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're alive. There's another quiet truth. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you feel calm and clear. Other days the same thoughts return. The same doubts. The same heaviness. And it can feel frustrating, like you're going backward. But you're not. You're just revisiting layers. Think of it like walking up a spiral staircase. You pass the same direction again and again, but each time you're a little higher. You see things from a slightly different perspective. That's growth. Not a straight path, but a deepening one. In Buddhist stories, there's often an emphasis on compassion, not just toward others, but toward yourself. And yet, self-compassion is something many people struggle with. You forgive others easily. You understand their pain. You offer them kindness. But when it comes to yourself, you become harsh, critical, impatient. Why? Imagine speaking to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. If they told you they felt lost, would you say, "You're not doing enough"? Or would you say, "It's okay, you're figuring things out"? That same kindness belongs to you. The Buddha never taught perfection. He taught awareness, compassion, understanding. He understood that the human mind is restless, that it clings, it fears, it doubts. But he also showed that beneath all of that, there is a quiet stillness, a place within you that is not disturbed by every passing thought. You don't have to create that stillness. It's already there. You just have to stop running long enough to notice it. Right now, notice your breath again. In and out. No rush. No pressure. Just this. You may not realize it, but every time you pause like this, you are retraining your mind. You are stepping out of autopilot, out of constant reaction, and into awareness. And that changes everything, because when you become aware, you begin to respond instead of react. You choose your thoughts more carefully. You treat yourself more gently. You move through life with a little more ease. Not perfectly, but more consciously. And slowly something shifts. The pressure softens. The noise quiets. The urgency fades. You begin to realize, maybe I don't need to rush. Maybe I don't need to prove anything. Maybe I'm already on the right path. Because you are. Even in your uncertainty. Even in your doubt. Even in your quiet moments of wondering if you're enough. You are moving forward. So slow down. Not because you're falling behind, but because you're learning to move with awareness. And awareness is the beginning of peace. Stay here for a moment. Nothing to fix, nowhere to rush. Just this quiet space, where you are allowed to simply exist. There comes a point in every journey, where you begin to realize something subtle but powerful. Not everything you're holding on to is meant to be carried. Some thoughts, some expectations, some old versions of yourself, they've stayed longer than they needed to. And gently, without force, without judgment, it may be time to let them go. In Buddhist philosophy, letting go doesn't mean giving up. Doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. Clinging is what creates tension. It's the tight grip you hold on outcomes. I need this to work. I need to feel better now. I need to become someone else to be okay. But peace doesn't grow in tight spaces. It grows where there is openness. Imagine holding sand in your hand. If you grip it tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if your hand is relaxed, it stays. Life works in a similar way. The more you force things, the more resistance you create. The more you allow, the more naturally things unfold. There's a quiet story often shared in Buddhist tradition. A man is carrying a heavy bag of stones up a hill. Each stone represents something: regret, fear, comparison, expectation. With every step, the weight becomes harder to bear. He reaches a wise teacher and says, "I don't understand why this journey feels so difficult." The teacher looks at the bag and simply says, "Why are you still carrying what you can put down? Take a moment and ask yourself, what am I holding on to right now that I no longer need? Is it a past mistake? A belief about yourself? An expectation that keeps hurting you?" You don't have to drop it all at once. Just loosen your grip. Because here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not the version of you that struggled before. You are not the mistakes you made. Those were moments, not your identity. In Buddhist psychology, there's an understanding that everything is impermanent. Your thoughts, your feelings, your circumstances, even the parts of you that feel stuck, are changing. Right now, think about a difficult time in your life. At one point it felt overwhelming, endless, and yet here you are. You moved through it. Maybe not perfectly, but you did. That is strength, even if you didn't notice it at the time. Sometimes we overlook our own resilience because it doesn't look dramatic. It looks like waking up when you didn't feel like it. It looks like trying again, even when you doubted yourself. It looks like continuing quietly. That counts more than you think. Another teaching from Buddhism is the idea of non-attachment to identity. This means not locking yourself into one fixed idea of who you are. Because when you say, "This is just who I am," you stop allowing change. What if you are still becoming? Not broken, not behind, just unfinished. A work in progress, in the most natural human way. You don't need to define yourself by your lowest moments. You don't need to carry labels that limit you. Instead, you can begin to see yourself with curiosity. Who am I becoming? What am I learning? What can I release? There is freedom in that. And as you begin to let go, something unexpected happens. You create space. Space for calm. Space for clarity. Space for something new to enter your life. But this space can feel unfamiliar at first, because you're used to noise, used to constant thinking, used to carrying something. Silence can feel uncomfortable. Stillness can feel strange. But stay with it, because beneath that initial discomfort, there is something deeply peaceful, a kind of quiet that doesn't demand anything from you, a kind of presence that simply allows you to be. In meditation, this is often described as returning home, not to a place, but to yourself, to the part of you that exists, before the pressure, before the expectations, before the noise. And when you touch that place, even for a moment, you begin to understand you were never as lost as you thought. So many people spend their lives searching for meaning, for validation, for a sense of enoughness. They chase achievements, approval, perfection, thinking that one day they will finally feel at peace. But the Buddha's teaching gently turns that idea around. Peace is not something you chase. It's something you uncover. It's already within you, covered by layers of doubt, fear, and constant striving. And every time you slow down, every time you let go, every time you choose awareness over reaction, you uncover a little more of it. So if today feels quiet, if it feels like nothing is happening, if it feels like you're not making progress, look a little closer. You might just be shedding what no longer serves you. And that is a different kind of progress. Slow down, not because you're stuck, but because something deeper is unfolding within you. There is a quiet shift that happens, so subtle you might miss it if you're always rushing. It's the moment when you stop trying to control everything and begin to trust, not blindly, not perfectly, but gently, honestly, one breath at a time. For most of your life, you've been taught to hold on to plans, hold on to certainty, hold on to the idea that if you just try hard enough, you can control how everything turns out. But life doesn't move that way. No matter how carefully you plan, no matter how much you worry, there will always be uncertainty, and fighting that uncertainty is exhausting. In Buddhist teaching, there is a deep understanding of this. Suffering often comes from the illusion of control. You want things to go a certain way. You want to avoid discomfort. You want guarantees. But life doesn't offer guarantees. It offers experiences. Imagine standing in a river. If you try to stop the current, you struggle. You tire yourself out. But if you learn to move with it, to adjust, to float, to respond, something changes. The same river feels completely different. Trust is not about knowing what will happen next. It's about knowing that whatever happens, you can meet it, that you have the strength, the awareness, the resilience to move through life as it unfolds. Think back to moments when things didn't go as planned. At the time, it may have felt like everything was falling apart. But later, you saw something you couldn't see before. A lesson, a redirection, a quiet opportunity hidden inside the difficulty. This doesn't mean everything happens for a perfect reason, but it does mean this: you are capable of finding meaning, even in uncertainty. And that ability, that quiet strength within you, is something you can trust. In Buddhism, there is also the practice of equanimity, a calm balance, a steady mind in the face of change. Not because life becomes easy, but because you stop resisting every shift. Equanimity doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel without being overwhelmed. You experience joy without clinging. You experience pain without collapsing. You remain present. And presence changes everything. Because when you are fully present, you are no longer lost in what ifs. You are here, with what is real. Right now, take a slow breath. Notice how your body feels. Not what your mind is saying, but what you can actually feel. Your feet on the ground, your shoulders, your breath moving gently in and out. This is your anchor, not your thoughts, not your fears. Every time your mind drifts into worry, you can return here, again and again. And over time, something remarkable happens. You begin to trust the present moment more than your anxious thoughts. That's where peace begins to grow. There's also a deep teaching in Buddhism about acceptance, not resignation, not passivity, but a clear, grounded acknowledgement of reality as it is. Because when you resist reality, you create tension. When you deny what you feel, you create inner conflict. But when you accept, something softens. Acceptance sounds like this. This is where I am right now. This is what I'm feeling. This moment is part of my journey. And from that place, you can move forward with clarity, not from panic, not from pressure, but from understanding. Many people believe they need to have everything figured out before they can feel calm. But the truth is the opposite. Calm is what allows clarity to appear. When your mind is constantly racing, you can't see clearly. But when you slow down, when you soften your grip, when you allow yourself to simply be, insight comes naturally. So if you've been feeling uncertain, if you've been trying to control every detail of your life, if you've been waiting for everything to feel right, maybe this is your moment to pause. You don't need to solve your entire life today. You don't need all the answers. You just need to take the next step with awareness, because step by step, moment by moment, your path reveals itself. And here's something important to remember. You are not falling behind. You are unfolding at your own pace, in your own way. Trust that, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if your mind doubts it. Trust the quiet progress you can't always see. Because right now, in ways both visible and invisible, you are growing. Slow down, not because you're lost, but because you're learning to see. Now just pause for a moment. No past, no future, no pressure to become anything else. Just this breath, this quiet space, this version of you exactly as you are. You've been walking this journey, even when it didn't feel like it, through confusion, through doubt, through days where nothing seemed to change. And yet, something has been changing. Not loudly, not all at once, but gently, steadily, deeply. If you look back, really look, you might begin to notice it. The way you handle things now is not the way you used to. You pause more. You reflect more. You understand yourself in ways you didn't before. That is growth, even if no one else sees it, even if you rarely give yourself credit for it. In Buddhism, there is a quiet realization that changes everything. You don't need to become someone else to find peace. You only need to come home to yourself. For so long, you may have believed that peace was somewhere ahead, in the next achievement, the next version of you, the moment when everything finally makes sense. But peace isn't waiting for you in the future. It's been here all along, in the stillness between your thoughts, in the space between your breaths, in the moments you allow yourself to stop searching. There is nothing missing from this moment, nothing you need to add, nothing you need to fix. This moment is complete, and so are you within it. That doesn't mean life will always feel easy. There will still be challenges, uncertainty, moments where your mind becomes restless again. But now you see things differently. You understand that thoughts come and go, that emotions rise and fall, that nothing you feel is permanent. And more importantly, you know that you can meet those moments with awareness, with patience, with compassion. This is your strength, not perfection, not constant happiness, but presence. There is a quiet confidence that begins to grow when you stop chasing and start trusting. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need to prove anything. Simply knows, I will be okay because I am here for myself. And that kind of confidence is unshakable. So as you move forward from here, you don't need to rush. You don't need to compare your journey to anyone else's. You don't need to carry the weight of expectations that were never truly yours. You can walk your path slowly, with awareness in each step, with breath as your guide, with a quiet trust in your own unfolding. Because life isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be present. And when you are present, even ordinary moments begin to feel meaningful. A simple breath, A quiet morning, a small step forward. This is where peace lives. Not in the extraordinary, but in the deeply ordinary moments you once overlooked. So the next time your mind tells you, you're not doing enough, you're falling behind, you should be further ahead, pause, take a breath, and gently remind yourself, I am growing, I am learning, I am doing better than I think. Let that truth settle within you, not as something you force yourself to believe, but as something you slowly begin to recognize, as it's already there. And now, as this moment comes to a close, carry this with you. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are on your path. And your path is unfolding exactly as it needs to. Slow down, not because you have nowhere to go, but because you finally realized you are already here. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to breathe it in and let it stay with you a little longer. And if you'd like more gentle reminders like this, more calm, clarity, and mindful guidance for your journey, subscribe to Soft Zen Mind and join a space where you can slow down, reflect, and reconnect with yourself. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who might need a little peace today. Until next time, stay present, stay kind to yourself, and trust your journey.